whether you are a sole proprietor or you are a partnership, you are a joint venture, you are a limited company, you're a multinational company. It's important to have good financial information so you can make decisions. Get started this afternoon talking about successful strategies and partnerships. I'm just going to review what we do at Millbrook. That doesn't mean that that's the only way to do it. It's the way that we've been successful, and it's open to interpretation and things like that. What I want to start off with is the first part, talking about some critical factors. Obviously, they stand out pretty quickly. Communication, you have to have frank, open, and clear communication with your business partner, because if you don't, it's not going to work. And you have to also know what each brings to the table. We'll go down a little, when we go a little further into the presentation, we will talk about some things that one of the key factors that we try to live by at Millbrook is, in a partnership, we bring certain things to the table, the other partner or partners bring other things to the table, and you have to rely on your strengths. One of the key things, it has to be profitable for both. That doesn't mean it has to make an exorbitant amount of money. From a profitable point of view, might be some employment. From our point of view, it could be different things. From the other partner, it could be profit. So you want to be able to know what each is bringing to the table, and it has to be beneficial for both. Trust, it's pretty easy. If you don't trust somebody, it's not going to work. And trust takes time. And we're going to talk to, one of the things I'm going to talk about is, we talk about finding partners and stuff like that. Finding partners isn't that difficult. We're going to go into that section down the road, because some of those partners are right underneath our nose right now. We're dealing with some of them right now. We have to have a synergy. We have to be willing and able to cooperate to achieve the best outcome that provides advantages to both parties. If it's all one-sided, you know what's going to happen. There's no trust, nobody's going to be happy. Aligning ethics and values. It's not probably a long-term venture if you're going this way and your partner's going this way. Everybody has to be on the same page, and you have to be willing to walk the walk. It's easy, or walk the talk. It's easy to say, yeah, we'll do this, but it's actions speak louder than words, and you got to make sure that you're able to trust them as they move forward. This is a big word that I have problems with, reciprocity. Regardless of the size or the balance of power in the relationship, good partners look at what's beneficial for the other partner. And if you have that type of reciprocity in the relationship, it makes a big difference, and that usually determines that it's going to be a long-term thing. Our approach, successful partnerships have to be beneficial or benefit to both, or it will not work. To be successful, you have to have a clear understanding of your own strengths. What do you bring to the dance? It's like when we were all younger. For Terry, it's much younger. Sort of set up, you're in your teenage years, you're dating and stuff like this. You have to know what strengths and what weaknesses you have. You also have to know that you don't want to be in Millbrook. We don't want to play the field. We want to have a limited number of partners. We don't want to be a partner to everybody, because we can't. We like I say, we recognize what we do, what we can do, and what we do very well, but also we have to recognize what we don't do well. That self-evaluation can be very difficult, but it's very necessary. I use this analogy quite a bit. When you build a house, you don't start with the roof. You start with the foundation. And the foundation for our economic development is people. The same as for your own business. The foundation in your business is yourself. It's what you bring to the table and what you're able to achieve in partnerships. Our objective from economic development is to become the engine for the benefit of all band members. It's pretty succinct. It's pretty to the point. We try to make as much money as we can for the benefit of all the band members. Other things in our approach, our strength is our people. Utilizing the background of the chief and council, the band staff, community members. Pooling of assets to experience gains perspective. We're extremely lucky in our council. We have varied backgrounds from college degrees to successful business people. The other thing that we use quite a bit is working together. We will have 3 or 4 meetings a day on different topics. Sometimes that meeting can be as many as 10 or 12 people from the council. Sometimes that meeting can be 3 or 4 people. Somebody has an idea, they want to bounce it off somebody, they want to expand on it, and that's what we do. That's what we do very well. We work as a team. We try to ensure that the sum of the parts is greater than the individual. And our best decisions are made from teamwork. Where are these partners? Where do you find them? Do you look under a rock? Do you look in the Yellow Pages? Do you look in the Chronicle Herald to find where they're at? For us, a lot of our business relationships are our partners. They're in relationships that we have enhanced over the last number of years. Also, some of those relationships have come from other bands. Other bands have introduced us to people, and we have that commonality that if they can get along with the other band, they usually can get along with us. So I think that's a pretty good thing. New relationships, referrals from existing businesses, the people that you do business with. I came from 33 years in the financial services industry. I spent 27 years with the Royal Bank and 6 years with CIBC. It was the scariest part of my day is when they used to tell me, Terry, you have to go out and get a new client. Because I'd be there just knees knocking thinking, what am I going to do now? How am I going to do this? So I sat down and I looked in the Yellow Pages, looked at the clients we had, said, okay, how do I do this? Well, I kind of like these people. Then I thought to myself, well, who of my existing clients do I know that knows these people? And all of a sudden, 2 or 3 would know, so I would call up and say, you know, I'm looking for new business, I'm looking for clients sort of set up. Could you make an introduction for me? Would you mind making an introduction for me? And you know what? Most times it worked so successfully. Worked so successfully, one time I got to go on a trip to Hawaii for the number of new clients I put on. So it's important to ensure that you got to step outside your comfort zone. And as entrepreneurs, sometimes stepping outside that comfort zone is reaching out to get somebody else to help you to do something, to achieve something together as opposed to doing it yourself. Because the entrepreneurial spirit in this country is probably one of the things that keeps things going, is that it's wonderful, wonderful spirit of trying to get things done. Sometimes reaching out and working with somebody else in a joint venture, a partnership, makes a big difference. Banking relationships. I kind of led into that. I spent 33 years in the bank. Okay? One or the other sort of setup. I enjoyed each and every day. Since I came to Millbrook, do I miss it? Not a little bit, sort of setup. But we consider, at Millbrook, we consider our banker a key partner, not just a supplier of services. They bring expertise to the table that in areas that we don't have. Your banker, whoever you deal with, good and bad, sort of setup. There's good bankers and there's bad bankers. There's one less bad banker because I don't do that anymore. But there's an opportunity. They have access to a wealth of information, and they are more than happy to provide it to you. If you're looking at industry specific, you're looking at an industry that you want to get into or an industry you want to partner in, talk to your bank. They have, I know at the Royal Bank, they have a 4 or 5 sheet summation of every industry. Every industry they deal with, and they deal with them all. They have a summation of what it takes to be successful, the key drivers, the key success factors, they even go as far to tell you what your balance sheet should look like, how much profit you should be earning on your income statement as a percentage. It's a wonderful, wonderful source of information. All you have to do is ask for it. And not only that, they'll put you on an online internet mail list that when there's changes, they'll send you the changes for that industry. So it's a great opportunity. And use it, because it doesn't cost you anything, and it's important to have more than one banker. At Millbrook, we deal with 3 banks. And the reason we deal with 3 banks is that it's important, I think, to make sure that we're always well liked, but I think it's also important to know that some banks have tolerance for different things. Other banks don't have tolerance for certain industries. So we like to share our banking around so that we can get the maximum coverage or the maximum exposure that we think we need. And the same on the entrepreneurial level. It is a wonderful opportunity, especially with some of the stuff that's out there now, to take advantage of that from the banks. And all the banks are dying for new customers. They are absolutely falling over themselves for new customers. Our partnership goal at the Power Center, the model for the Power Center is to attract business who want to partner with us for long-term sustainability. We work with them to structure a joint beneficial arrangement at the outset, and then we get the hell out. And then we let the company focus on running the operations, do what they have the expertise to do. We have probably 17, 18 businesses in the Power Center. I know how to order a coffee. I really don't know how to make it. So we try to stay out of that stuff. We let them do what they do very well, and we do what we do very well. We like to develop the land, charge a land lease, charge rent, and collect property tax. Sobeys was the first multinational company that we were able to sign a development agreement with, and Sobeys has provided 6 other opportunities for us with businesses in the Power Center, and we're working on additional ones with them now. So sometimes, like I said, it can be a very small group. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have a bucket full of partners. Sometimes 3 or 4 partners who are well connected and have other opportunities, and they're more than happy to introduce you. Come from my term in the bank, if you don't have good financial information, how can you make good decisions? It is important. I know it's a cost. It's important as an entrepreneur, whether you are a sole proprietor or you are a partnership, you are a joint venture, you are a limited company, you're a multinational company. It's important to have good financial information so you can make decisions. You don't want to make a decision of expanding a line and find out 3 months later that you never made any money in it. It doesn't really go over very well.